Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. I am Sishen Lovu, and this is the second part of my second episode of my Rethink Code, or rather tech segment. And today I'll be talking about my experience as a Rethink Code bootcamper. So I am a Rethink Code learner, and I've been under Rethink Code for about 7 to 8 months. I am about to start my second year, and I'm here to tell you guys what I went through during my bootcamp. Yeah. So I did write down a few things so that I make sure that I stay on track and I don't ramble too much. Okay, so I'll be going into detail about how my bootcamp went. Sorry about that, and also please don't mind the sound outside. This is the only place I could find to film on campus, right? Alright, so day one of my bootcamp, right? I came to campus with a guy I had met weeks prior, and found out that it was a Rethink Code student, and I'm like, you know what? Why should I struggle? You know? So he accompanied me to campus. We came together, and then when I got to campus, I actually met some girl at the door, and she's like, I was actually waiting for you, let's go. And my confused self, I'm like, okay, who is she? Am I supposed to be following her? Fine. I go with her, and we go to where we're supposed to be seated, right? When we get there, she's like, oh no, I'm just a student, I just needed someone to walk in with. I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. Yeah, well, we sit together and we start working. Oh no, actually no, we don't start working. You know, we familiarize ourselves with the equipment with each other and everything, and then we had to write the test. So I mean, I was nervous, right? But I had heard that the test is just to test whether you have prior experience. So because I didn't have prior experience, I wasn't expecting myself to get high marks, right? Or to get a high mark. But I mean, I wanted to pass, you know, because, you know, I wrote the test, and I'm still ashamed till this day to tell people that I got a 30%, right? And I think the pass mark for the test was 80, and I got a 30. Not even halfway there, guys. But I got a 30, and other people got 20, other people got 10. It was tough. Like after that exam, people really weren't sure if they wanted themselves on campus still, right? But I was like, no, I can do this, right? I won't let that one test put me down. After all, I don't have experience, you know, and that's what I needed. I did great, and that day went on. I started my work, right? Work that I had to cover during the boot camp. I continued, I worked, and then I had to go home. So the guy I came with, I went with him back home. Cool. I got home and I continued, guys. I told myself, I'm not resting. If this bootcamp is just 1 week long, can't I sacrifice just 1 week of no sleep, of just working? Come on. I got home and I worked. I think I slept at 2 a.m. on the first day, right? I woke up on Tuesday and I went to school. So now the guy is not there to come with me. But I know my way to school. I just don't know my way from school to where I'm supposed to get my taxi to home, right? Remember that. So I got to campus and I started working. Now I'll tell you guys something. Tuesday was the worst day of my boot camp. No, it was the worst day of my boot camp. Like, anyway, I got to school and I started working, but now the quizzes I was doing, or the exercises I was doing, according to me, the answers were correct, right? But according to the system, the answers were not. And I didn't understand it. So now I had to get the required output, right? And I was getting it. When I'm looking at it, it is it, right? But according to them, it's not. And I'm like, hell no. And I'm telling the people, maybe it's the system. They're like, no, the system can't be wrong. Yeah, well, you are the problem, guys. I got frustrated. So people who know me personally will know that I am a crybaby. I got frustrated and I started crying. Not in front of people. I went to the ladies and I texted the guy, right? The guy and I were like friends-ish at that time. I texted the guy and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. It's so frustrating. Like I'm doing the right thing, but it's not right, you know? I told him sorry. I just like let all my frustrations on him, and he wasn't answering at that time, and I needed someone to talk to at that time who would understand what I'm going through, right? I then went back to my table. I tried to work. It wasn't happening. It wasn't happening. He called me and was like, listen, calm down, relax, go for lunch, go for a 2-hour lunch. I think, if I remember well, that's what he said to me. Go for a 2-hour lunch. Don't think about code. Watch TikToks. Just do anything else but think about code, and then go back, and you know, you'll feel refreshed and you'll probably be thinking better, right? Like, but this guy doesn't understand. I don't have time for a 2-hour lunch, right? But at the back of my head, I'm like, I actually do need it, so let me go for it. Cool. I went for the lunch, and when I came back from the lunch, I felt a lot better. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry about that. So I was saying that I really, at that time, I needed motivation from other people to see that I wasn't the only one who was struggling, right? And I went on campus and I saw that I was the only one I wasn't the only one that was struggling, but it just wasn't enough, right? Now it's Tuesday, right? Remember the guy I came with yesterday didn't come with me, meaning I must find my way to get myself. I must find my own way to get myself to the rank. Nah, right. So I started asking around on campus if there's anyone who was going to the same place I was going. I found a few people, and I'm sorry if they watch this video, because they probably will. I'm sorry guys, but no. Guys, if I tell you, so now if I walk from here to the rank, it will probably take me a good 20 minutes because I'm a slow walker and I take my time. But that day I walked for 1 hour 30 minutes. Guys, let alone I was having a bad day, right? Nothing was going right, and then I walked for 1 hour 30 minutes. And I had to walk for 1 hour 30. Literally, I was crying on my way to the taxi rank. I got in the taxi. I think we left campus at 5, right? And we got to the taxi rank at 6:30. I got into a taxi. It was dark. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I'm thinking it's not safe. People who know me also will know that I'm not used to taxis. Like, I don't like taxis at all. But at this point, I didn't have a choice, right? It's dark. I'm alone. Struggle. And today is not my day. I was sitting in the back seat. I remember. I was sitting in the back seat. I'm like, the entire time, because of how bad it was, guys. Anyway, that was my second day. I got home, I vented to my sister. I told her I can't do this anymore. If this is what take is, then I can't take it. Me now is laughing at my venting speech I gave to my sister that day, because what do you mean, my sister? That was the bare minimum. You know? Okay, cool. That was Tuesday, right? Oh, I wanted to quit on Tuesday. I wanted to quit. I sat my sister down and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I can't. I won't be able to survive. And my sister was like, no, pray about it. And you've always wanted. So people, okay, I'll let you know. I've wanted to go to Within Code since I was in grade 10. I matriculated in 2021, waiting for Within Code applications to open in Jan, so I can apply and start my cohort in September, right? I missed my application time in Jan because of how busy Jan-Feb, because of how busy my life was at that time, and I was so angry at myself for that. And I told myself I'm gonna take a gap year, but I'm gonna apply to Within Code the next Jan and enter the next September, right? So I had decided that I'm on a gap year, right? Cool. And then it was in July, one day I was just scrolling on my Instagram and I saw a story by We Think Code saying there's a few slots open. Joburg campus, guys. I stood up same time. I stood up same time and I started applying because I'm like, if this isn't my chance, if this isn't God, then I don't know what it is. Okay, so that's how I applied. So my sister reminded me of how I missed applications and I got another chance to apply, and how I've always wanted this since grade 10, you know, and a whole lot of that. I'm like, you know what, I really can't give up now, because I give up, then what's the plan, you know? And that day, shame, I decided to sleep because I just wasn't okay, right? After the vent session I had with my sister, I slept. Cool. Wednesday morning, I woke up, I felt motivated. I'm like, I'm gonna do this, you know, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. I went on with a lighter, brighter, you know, me. So I had decided, I told myself that from today I'm going to practice more of peer-to-peer learning. I am going to make sure I ask questions. I'm going to make sure that I don't suffer alone. I'm going to make sure that I'm just visible on campus, right? If they say, can you name a few students for me? I want to be named in that group, right? So I went to campus and I started asking. I started getting help from people. I started asking mentors for help. I started asking my peers for help. I'm bad at explaining, right? But after a mentor explained something to me, I told them, if you find someone with the same problem, you can let them know that I'm done so I can help them. You know, that's how you network with people. Because I could be done with this, but you could be done with that. You understand? And you can help me with what you did or what you understand and stuff like that. Cool, right? And then this one mentor, I'm not sure if I should mention his name, should I? He's still available on campus. He's still around campus till today. His name is Jay, right? Jay came to me, I think I was asking him for help, and while he was helping me, there was a few shortcuts that I knew, that I had learned during the time when I was studying and all of that, right? So he said to me, and I wrote down, I tried to remember his exact words this morning when I was planning for the video, and this is what he said, guys. He said, stop lying to us. You are not new to coding. You are just hiding your full potential. Let me tell you something, guys. That probably doesn't mean much to anyone, but to me at that specific time, like, I felt like it was the next big thing. Like, I felt like this guy is basically saying, I'm smarter than I think I am, or I know more than I think I do, right? Even Jay, with my code and how I was writing things, I was like, guy, you're lying, gag. So I'm like, oh my gosh, is this me? So I am. So that's what motivated me on my third day when we were starting with the group project. When he said that, honestly, it made my week. I think that's another thing that got me through the rest of the week, right? Wednesday, we started our group projects. We got our group projects, right? So when we got our group projects, we had to pick what we were going to do, and I picked whatever I picked. And he came to me again and he said, why did you pick that? Because you know it's going to be too easy for you. And I'm like, no, you know, because that's, yeah. But also another thing, at that time, I had realized that the bootcamp is a competition. As much as we are learning from our peers, it's a competition. I need to fight for my spot into We Think Code. So I had wanted to get a project or a part of the projects that I knew that I could do quicker, a part of the project. So basically I was saying that I needed to find a project that would work in my favor in terms of me finishing the project quicker, in terms of it being easier to me than as compared to the other projects that I would have picked. And till this day I say that's what I did, although people now argue with me and say not really, but I don't regret picking that part of the project. Yeah, so I did the project, and on Thursday I started with my project. I continued with my project, right? On Thursday I continued with my project, and the problem with me was that I was focusing on the project working rather than I was with the tests passing, because I was very new to unit tests and I didn't know how they work, how to fix it, and all of that, right? So I just wanted my project to work, and I was safe with that. People would ask me, what about your test? Yeah, no, let it work first, I'll fix the tests after, right? And I did just that. I focused on my project's functionality, and it started working. I started having more progress. Things started going right for me. Right, that was Thursday. I went back home. I attended the workshop that I had to attend from, I think, from 9 p.m. Yeah, that a mentor was hosting. I'm not sure if I said it in the previous clip, but there was a mentor that was hosting workshops, and sorry about that. That was hosting workshops, and yeah, so he did them after campus, so later, once we're all home and settled, around 9 and 10. Sorry about that. So I would attend his workshops, and he'd help us with our group projects, you know, make us understand better, prepare us for our final exam, right? That was Thursday. I worked and I worked and I pushed and I pushed. I mean, I'm close to the end. Friday came, I went to campus, and I was supposed to submit. I think the submission time was 11, and I realized that out of 16 of my tests, only 9 were passing. So I had to make a plan. I started now working to fix the test. I got some help. Shout out to a mentor that was on campus. Her name is Princess. She helped me so much. She made sure that my tests were passing, and I submitted on time, but I submitted at exactly 11. I mean, a win is a win, right? I submitted at exactly 11 with all my tests passing. I submitted my part of the group project. Now, I'm so sorry guys, I'm not sure if I said this in this clip that I lost or the previous clip, but on Thursday 2 of my team members quit. So it was a team of 5, and 2 of them quit. So there were only 3 of us left, and we had to carry the team. Although we were told that they actually focus it on individual work, so we don't really need to worry about the 2 that left, but we still need to work as a team. Cool. Yeah, I submitted my work on Friday. I continued with my work, the curriculum work that we had. I continued, and I left on Friday, and I went home. I got home and I attended the workshop as per usual. Now the problem on Friday was that I was really tired. Like, I mean, a whole week of not sleeping. I was extremely tired. I was fatigued. I was just all over, right? I then got home and I tried to attend my workshop. Mid-workshop, I fell asleep. I fell asleep, and I was woken up by my sister grabbing my laptop so that she can unmute herself, right? And I'm like, no, wait, what? She unmutes herself and then mutes herself again. Say something and mutes herself again. And then they say on the workshop, oh, Sihle, you're still awake. We thought you were asleep. I was so embarrassed because what do you mean? What do you mean you knew I was sleeping? Anyway guys, and that's why I advised in the previous video to get enough rest. Not resting and expecting to still perform the same way is not a good idea, right? So remember, my test was now on Saturday, but we had gotten an email on Friday saying that because some people have religious reasons on why they can't come to campus on Saturday, they can write on Sunday. So I slept in the AMs on Friday to wake up on Saturday. I'm so sorry about the sound. I'm gonna try and put music on top of, like, as under the, yeah. I woke up on Saturday and I tried to get ready for campus, but I really couldn't. I was on zero, guys. I I really couldn't. And so I decided that I'm not going to write the test on that day. I'm going to write it on the Sunday, like the others. So they gave us that option. So I decided I'm going to write it on the Sunday. I woke up on the Sunday. Okay, so on the Saturday I was working the entire day, hacker rank, solo learn, making sure that I understood everything that was on my curriculum. I was still working on my curriculum work. I was just making sure that I am prepared, right? So on Sunday we didn't have to come to campus, you could write it from home. Sunday I woke up, I went to church, and I came back and I wrote the test, and here I am. Similar. Anyway guys, yeah, that's my bootcamp story. But anyway, yeah guys, thank you for watching. If you got this far, you are a star and I love you. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You guys don't subscribe, and I'm going to be very honest with you guys, it's very demotivating. So please subscribe so I can keep up with the content. Ask me more questions regarding Rethink Code, regarding the bootcamp, just regarding anything actually, and what type of content you guys would like to see from me on this YouTube channel. Yeah.